Greetings everyone, it's Michael Anastasiadis here, mortgage advisor from Bosanoff Mortgages Made Easy. I've had to pop into the office to do a few things, but now I'm out of here, so coming to you a little bit late than normal. Been busy on daddy duty with the school holidays and working as well, and I can tell you the inquiries have been coming in, particularly from first home buyers and those people that have got their loans coming up for refixing. They're out of the 3-year period with the banks where they have to return their cash contribution, and they want to look to see what other banks can offer them. So that's called a refinance when you go from one bank to another. So lots of inquiries with that. Also had a few clients this week that have had their offer accepted on buying a new house, subject to the sale of their current house. So busy working with those applications as well. So hasn't been a quiet week for us this week, being the first week of the school holidays. It's traditionally, it's steady, but traditionally it's, not this busy. So it'll be interesting to see what next week has to hold as well. And if the signs are there, well, the signs are there, I can pretty much tell you, I'm calling it now. I think we're going to have a pretty busy spring. So it'll be interesting to see what the data says when it comes out in a few months, because everything here is just so slow in this country. And I feel sorry for this new Reserve Bank governor lady that's taken over. She looks like a nice lady, lovely lady. I wish her all the best. But yeah, she's going to be a bit hamstrung because the official advice that comes out of Treasury and the Reserve Bank, let's be frank, it hasn't been the best, let alone the data, the official data that comes from Stats New Zealand. Just too delayed for the poor lady to make any good decisions. But anyway, we wish her all the best, and no, she can't do any worse than the people that have been running the show there anyway. So she's got a pretty low base to get started from, so things will be looking good for her. Anyway, we'll let you know what she announces on the when we have the next OCR review on the 8th of October. I'm just having a look at our board. So that one's just a press release, but she'll be in front of the media on the 26th of November, because that's when it'll be the full monetary policy statement. And she'll appear there and do a press conference as well, showing the projections and trajectory for the OCR come 2026. So from what I've been reading, the big debate's going to be is whether the Reserve Bank's going to go big on that 8th of October and do a 0.5 cut, or they're just going to do a 0.25 cut in October and another 0.25 cut in November. Anyway, I'll give you that information live as that happens. But look, that's going to take the OCR to a 2.5 potentially by the end of the year. And I can tell you, when you have an OCR rate that low and people have confidence in their jobs, the bank stress test rates are also going to reduce. And next year, we could be at the races. I think there'll be a lot more people looking to buy. Now, there's also a lot of people that wouldn't have been able to buy because they're stuck in those properties that they bought at the height of the market in 2021, 2022. The equity's vanished, so they're stuck. So there's a lot of musical chairs to happen in the property market, but there's a lot of, it's like a Rubik's Cube, right? All the pieces have to be perfect before things start happening. So yeah, things will just improve from here, I think, going forward. But like I say, I think we're going to have a busy spring, and I'll be sharing you that data as we go along. Now, in terms of interest rates, all the banks are pretty much offering the same rate for 1 year, 18 months, 2 years, 4.72. No one's budging. Maybe all the pricing committees that set the interest rates at the banks are all on holiday as well. But there's got to be someone that's got to come out and take the bull by the horns before this announcement in October and do some sort of cut to their fixed rates, and then it'll be all on for all those people buying in spring. And there's a lot of them out there and a lot of people looking to refinance, so the banks will be doing something to either retain their market share, because they're all bleeding people wanting to refinance, or wanting to get the majority of the new business. But typical market conditions here in New Zealand, typically as soon as one bank does something, the others follow. So just a few reminders for my first home buyers that are out there looking at properties. Don't get disappointed when you find a property that the bank says no to. I try and remind everyone, you've got to send me the disclosures. If there's any defective titles, unconsented works, things like that, and if you can't get insurance, the banks are going to say in most cases no. So make sure you get everything to us in advance so we can look at it, put it together, send it to the bank for their approval first. Because remember, just because you're pre-approved doesn't mean that the bank's going to approve the property. We've got to send them the information for the property to make sure it's acceptable. And we try and do that in advance. Sometimes we can't, but in most cases we try and do it in advance so we can make sure that the property is acceptable to the bank so you're not disappointed. So make sure when you're going to open homes this weekend, you're asking the real estate agent, what are the disclosures on the property? Because we need to know that so we can let the banks know. You also need to let the insurers know when you're doing the house insurance quote, because they need that information as well. So just a reminder, if you're out there at those open homes, I know everyone asks, what do the vendors want? That's the people selling the house. You know, what do the vendors want? Ask that. There's no problem with that. It's good to get an indication, but also find out what are the disclosures and how motivated are the vendors in selling. Because we've also seen in some cases, if the vendors aren't getting what they want, they're taking it off the market and looking at other options, and in some cases renting it out. So anyway, hopefully that was useful. If you've enjoyed the video, press that like button, press that share button, and we'll come to you live with another video next week. Cheers guys, hope all is well. Bless you.